Well, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video we're going to go over some news that Plarium just dropped on us, and it's going to be related to a guaranteed void champion that we're allowed to get from void shards tomorrow, but it's not necessarily the champion that you really are expecting. We also have some confirmation about the next fusion, and yeah, let's go all over that. All right, so I did pin the news note from Plarium up at the very top there. So the Void champion that we are getting as a guarantee coming on Thursday will be the Void champion. What's it called? Weregrin. Weregrin Suncursed. So Weregrin, he's a damage dealer. I don't think he's particularly good. Brings a little bit of fear, so he needs accuracy. Swaps enemy HP, then grants extra turn. Deal 30% more damage against targets whose current HP is lower than this champion's current HP. Anyways, he's a damage dealer, but he's not particularly insane or anything like that. He is part of the Mikage fusion, and that's going to be why he is being offered here. So is he worthwhile picking up for 25 void shards? At this point, if you are basically missing him as the last piece, I would maybe suggest going for him. Mikage is an excellent champion. She is a mythical champion, and hopefully by now you have amassed books, maybe passively just by playing the game, that you have enough books to book out Mikage if you want to use her right away. If she's your first mythical, she's going to make a big difference for your account. She's one of my most used champions. I use her in PvP, use her in PvE, I use her in Hydra, dungeons. She's very good. Brings lots of, stuns and strips. Also her A1 paired with the Shadowkin champion, it's insanely good. If Weregrin is the last piece for you, then I might recommend going for him, just because it is difficult to get void shards and then pull a specific champion from void shards. So it's not easy, and I know you can build a Weregrin, but it really depends. It really depends on where your progress is. Of course, you'll be pulling outside of any boosted event or anything like that, so you have to take that in mind and in consideration. But yeah, up to you guys. 25 void shards for Weregrin saves you guys from pulling 4 void rares. Obviously, these are difficult to get as well, since you're not pulling too many void shards. You can't get these champions in other ways. So yeah, it could definitely be your last piece for Mikage, and in which case I think it's probably worth it. But yeah, 25 void shards, 1 day only for Weregrin. All right, up next we have the Brugard here. So the image and kit for Brugard was actually released, maybe a day and a half ago. I did make a video on it, and it is now confirmed that he is the next fusion. It wasn't, it's 99% sure at that point it was probably the fusion, given that he is Oktoberfest themed and we're just nearing Oktoberfest. So here he is confirmed. The date is a little bit surprising, because I was expecting him to start end of the week, but he's actually starting on the 30th. So that is something to keep in mind. He starts on September 30th, and he is going to be a fragment champion. So keep that in mind, guys. I thought it would start on the 3rd, giving us a couple days between the Thor event ending and the fusion starting, but he actually starts exactly on the last day of the Fey Hammer ending. So just something to keep in mind there. I don't know if that's going to change too much. I think general community consensus is that he's not very good, but I think maybe there's something that we're not, fully seeing about him. I think we'll find some use for him. I mean, he does have a 3-turn cleanse, which is very solid. He does bring some, some ability to break out of CCs, and then he can support your team that way. Is he going to be like the Armand's counter? I don't think so. But he looks very decent. Whether you guys need a break or not, that's another thing. So it might be a good time for it, and then gear up for the Halloween fusion, which I would probably say would be somewhere around the end of the month. So yeah, looks like it is confirmed that Brugard is the next fusion, and it starts on Monday the 30th. Finally, guys, The Adventurer's Deck of Fate is confirmed to not include Freya. They've already listed some more details about what's happening. It seems like every day they start adding a little bit more details. Like yesterday, they gave out more rewards, and then, you know, so every day they leak out a little bit more details. And today it seems like it is confirmed that it is going to be the Slayer set being offered. And there is no Freya in this deck. I don't know how people thought that Freya would be in this deck, especially after they already said artifacts. I think giving artifacts and a champion for completing the deck would be way too generous, unless their idea was to, you know, crank up the price or to somehow force people to do it, or maybe they put 300 Titan hammers in there or something. Yeah, Freya plus artifacts was a little bit too much. Keep in mind, guys, that the Asgard Divide is going to go on for most of the month. So Freya still definitely can pop up in October. The Asgard Divide doesn't end until the 25th. So Freya definitely could pop up during the fusion, or it could pop up during the downtime between the fusion and the next fusion, with the Halloween fusion, of course. So keep that in mind, guys. There's going to be another Deck of Fate within the next month. So just something to consider. And like I said, guys, it's going to be the Slayer set, and there is also something interesting happening with this. In Plarium's most recent news update, they give us the details on the Deck of Fate already, and it is going to be upgrading champions. So this is going to be training paired with shards, as pretty much expected, to be honest. We were thinking maybe there is going to be a third component like soul stones or something. But because there was no summoning event and no training event involved in the final events here, it was basically expected to be in the Deck of Fate. And here it is. It is confirmed to be there. And they do confirm that the rewards will be Slayer set items, as confirmed here. They also confirmed Legendary Skill Tome, 6-star Mythical Chaos Ores, and Slayer gear. They confirm each piece here. So lots of info here, and they confirm it's going to be 200 hammer points. Yeah, people were saying 250, 300. It was going to be 200 minimum, just because of how they did the previous Deck of Fates, and basically how the points broke it down. It was going to be about 200, in my opinion. There is something new here for this Deck of Fate: pinned rarity. This might need a little bit of explaining. So you will be able to pin the rarity of a flip card. So pinning a rarity means that if you flip a card of a lower rarity, your streak won't reset. So that's kind of interesting. So if you start, like, your first card is an epic card, and then I guess your next card is a lower rarity, it won't reset. It's kind of interesting. So that means, however, if you flip a card of a higher rarity, your streak will be reset, and the pin rarity can be replaced with a higher rarity. So that means they're kind of giving you, really good return on the card flipping. So they're trying to entice you to flip more cards. So if you think about it this way, you start with a common, you flip your next card and it's a rare, and then you flip your next card as a common, and then you flip your next card as a common, but you still keep your rare. So it kind of entices you to keep flipping cards until you get higher rarity combos, right? So what if you get an epic and then you keep wanting to flip until you get your next epic? So this is kind of like clever, I guess, marketing, or a way to make us spend more resources to flip more cards, basically to gamble on the next card flip. So keep that in mind, guys. It's basically a trap to get people to participate in this. Personally, I think this Deck of Fate probably caught people off by surprise. Like I said, I've been hearing a lot of people say Freya would be shoehorned in this, but as soon as I saw, like I said, as soon as I saw this Deck of Fate, I did not think Freya would get shoehorned in with the artifacts. When I saw the artifacts, I was like, no, Freya's probably not going to be in here. I am surprised that it's Slayer gear, because we literally just had a Forge Pass for Slayer gear. So it's like the least hottest artifact, item piece that you could want, because we literally just had it. People literally just had hundreds of pieces of it, if they bought the Forge Pass and all that stuff. So why would you put it here? I was thinking more of like legendary or mythical pinpoint gear. because that would, basically be equivalent to like many tens of thousands of energy for people, right? Is basically, yeah, it's like, yeah, do this event. You can spend shards, but you'll get some nice gear for it instead of spending energy. But in this case, it's Slayer gear. Even for me, like free to play, I don't have Slayer gear. I don't have much Slayer gear at all. But personally, I don't find too many applications for it right now. Like maybe like Marius would be a good option. But if you're going to use Marius in like Arena, you probably need him in Stone Skin. So you can't really fit like a 9-piece set onto Marius. But I can't really think of too many uses for Slayer right now that I would like immediately switch some of my champions into. Usually I would probably go for this because obviously I can't get Slayer gear anywhere else. But in this case, I'm probably just going to sit on my shards and then wait for the next week's event, and then the fusion, and then obviously the upcoming deck of fate for the real Freya deck of fate. The other issue is if you were prepping for this deck of fate early on in the beginning of the Titan event, and you thought, hey, this is going to be the deck of fate for Freya, I'm going to kind of skip some points, knowing that I'm going to do the adventure, knowing that I'm going to do the deck of fate no matter what, because it's Freya. Unfortunately, that's not going to work out for you here, and then now you're forced to do this deck of fate that is basically just for gear pieces, which you can otherwise kind of skip. Maybe, the Slayer pieces will be extremely, important for you or anything like that, but I doubt it's going to give you the same, positive feelings about spending shards to get Slayer gear as opposed to getting Freya. So in that case, it's probably not going to feel so good to be, kind of disappointed, right? To not get Freya out of this. And also you're spending shards to get your Titan points, to finish off your, Thor soul. And now you could, you could have saved those shards for the actual Freya deck of fate. So it was a little bit disappointing for people, I'm sure. However, in the beginning of the Titan event, it was very, very enticing for the first summon event, the 1+1 sacred, and then the champion chase, which was paired with the 2x ancient. Those are very, very strong events, high value events. And I think if skipping any of those would have been maybe not the best. And if you were skipping like other events, I think it probably wasn't the best idea to skip other events. But I could understand people skipping the summon events, but I don't think skipping the other events and then trying to make it up in the deck of fate was the best plan. I did warn against that because I don't want you guys to be caught wanting points from the deck of fate, because this is a really bad idea to look for points in the deck of fate if you weren't going to fully complete it. So anyways, guys, hopefully this is a lesson learned for next deck of fate. Make sure you guys have the ability to finish it. If you guys don't, make sure you guys plan for that, of course. But yeah, anyways, guys, no Freya deck of fate, 25x void guaranteed Weregrin for your Mikage fusions. And we have a confirmed fusion starting on September 30th, on Monday. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.